for this session to be very engaging. And at intervals, I'm going to ask for, responses in the chat. I'm going to ask for reactions. I mean, this is a virtual session, so it just helps me know that you're actually on track and you're following through everything that we are discussing today. Now, while we are going through this session, my colleagues are going to be sharing resources in the chat, links to where you can fill in the attendance form so we can reach out to you after this session. And you can also, follow up, ask any questions, interact with us, speak to a career coach and the likes of that. The recording of this session would also be made available to you when you fill out the attendance form. So if you'd like to fall back to the recording or get back to the resources from tonight's session, then please ensure that you fill out the form my colleagues are going to be sharing in the chat. Now we are getting into the actual session itself, right? I want to welcome every one of you, especially to tonight's session. I'm sure we're excited to be here, and I'm sure we are looking forward to the amazing conversation we're about to have. But before we get into the conversations, I would like to hear from everyone that's on the call. All right, I would like for you to introduce yourself. Just tell me your name and where you are joining from. All right, so I'm Jedidiah. I'm currently in Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm excited to take us through the session this evening. So I would like for everyone else to just respond in the same fashion, your name and where you are joining the call from. Just quickly type that in the chat. Awesome, awesome. I think I see some responses coming in already. Let's go on to do that. Your name and where you're joining the call from. All right, fantastic. Now, for some of us, this is our very first interaction with Tenalytics ever. For some of us, we've seen, resources, we've seen videos, ads on the internet about Tenalytics. And for some of us, we've actually joined a masterclass prior to now. All right, for those of you who are meeting Tenalytics for the very first time, it's amazing to have you here. Very quickly, I'm going to be sharing a bit about Tenalytics and what we do as a brand. But for now, I'd like to welcome everyone specially, and I would actually like to see the newcomers. If this is your very first interaction with Tenalytics ever, like being in a masterclass like this, I would like for you to just type in a one in the chat. And if you've been in prior sessions, you can as well type a zero. All right. So if this is your first session, just type a one. If you've been in previous session, just type a zero in the chat. Fantastic. Okay, Oluwaseun has been here before. Alfred from Ghana, it's lovely to have you on the call. Now, like I mentioned prior to getting started with the session, it's a virtual session, so I'd really appreciate our responses, in the chat, interactions, thumbs ups, reactions when I ask for them. That way I know that you're still on track and you're still going through with me in the session. All right, so lovely to have everyone on the call. Now, very quickly, we are going to dive into the meat of the session. All right, a little bit about analytics for those of you that are having your very first interaction with Tenalytics today. Tenalytics is a leading edtech brand that's been in existence for over the past half decade now. We've trained over 3,000 people, helping them to get into the tech space. And Tenalytics is focused on equipping people with the tech skill that's required to help them transition from whatever career they are currently in into the tech space. A lot of people like yourself, like me, have interest in getting into tech for many reasons, for job security, for better pay, better compensation, and all of the benefits that comes with working a tech job, right? So Tenalytics is there to bridge the gap between the demand in the market and ensuring that you are able to easily make that transition into the tech space. And we've been doing this for over the past 5 years now. We've trained over 3,000 people that have been able to make their transition and land their very first job in the tech space. Now, that's about analytics. You might be wondering who is in front of you and what qualifies me to actually be speaking about these things. All right. I have a proven track record in the tech space. I've been in the tech space for over half a decade now. I've trained over 1,000 people, helping them to transition into the tech space. I've also worked with businesses and organizations across the US, UK, and Canada, helping them to put up data science and AI solutions. All right, so I'm going to be bringing my wealth of experience and knowledge in the industry into today's session as I'll be guiding us through all of the conversations that we are going to be having. Now, once again, I'd like to meet everyone. I think only one person actually responded. Now that you know me, I'd also like to know you. I'd like to know everyone I'm interacting with. All right, so I know I have and Alfred Nabari from Ghana that's currently on the call. So I'd like for everyone else to introduce themselves, just your name and where you're joining from. It's lovely to meet everyone. And very quickly, we are going to dive into the conversation for today. All right. Lovely to meet everyone. Fantastic. We have Francis from UK, data science students. It's interesting. It's awesome to have you here, Francis. All right, fantastic. Now we're going to be diving into this session today. And as we saw earlier, the topic we're going to be focused on in today's session is simply how to get into the product design space, right? If I started a career in product design in 2026, I'd follow this roadmap. So what we're going to be doing is discussing a roadmap that you can actually use to get into the product design space in 2026. Now, you might be wondering what exactly is product design. If at all I'm going to get into product design, I need to know what exactly product design is about. So today's session is going to be in three phases. We'll start by understanding what exactly product design means. Then we'll go into looking why this career path is really relevant. Is this actually a career path you would want to get into? Is there any prospect to this career path? And then secondly, we'll look at a pathway to breaking in to this role and securing a job. How can you get into this space? What are the requirements? What does it take to get into the product design space and actually succeed at it? We'll be discussing that. We'll also be discussing a special discounts that Analytics is making available to you, to everyone that's on the call today. Right. So if you stick with me to the end, there's a special gift for you that we're going to talk about when we eventually get to that point. All right, so just stick around and we'll eventually get there, and I'll be sharing that special gift from Analytics to you. So make sure you don't leave. All right, so now we're going to get into the actual session and starting with what exactly product design is. What is product design? And is it even a relevant career path in 2026? All of us use different devices. All of us use different applications. We use different products every day, right? Have you ever wondered why, things like, for example, the glasses are designed this way, right? I'm using my glasses as an example. Have you ever wondered why these glasses are designed this way? There's a reason why the handle on the glasses go all the way to the back of your ear so that they can hang comfortably on your ear and sit well. There's a reason why there's a notch somewhere here, right? So it rests on your nose and it does not keep falling. Some glasses even come with ropes that allow them to hang on your neck so you can walk around with them comfortably without them falling off. That's an example of design being implemented. So what exactly is product design? Product design is simply about creating how a product looks, feels, and works so that people find it easy, useful, and enjoyable. I just gave an example with my glasses. There's a reason it has these bars going, extending all the way back. There's a reason it has this notch here. And there's a reason it has this soft materials here while it's resting on my nose, right? All of this was designed to make sure that it sits comfortably on my face while also serving the purpose for which it was designed. All right. That's what product design is all about. every kind of digital product that you see today, and pretty much every other product that you find out there in the market, was designed with intention. Right? I have a mouse on my table over here. There's a reason it's designed this way, so that my hand can sit comfortably on the mouse while I go on to use it. And that's what product design is about. Digital products being put together in such a way that they do not just serve the purpose, but also ensure that there's a seamless flow, a seamless and enjoyable flow and usage of these products. And that's what product design is about. Ensuring that we are creating how a product looks. Take note, it's not the creation of the product itself. Product design is not about creating the product itself. It's about designing or creating how the product looks, how it feels, and how it works. And that's what product design is about. It's about being the person who designs the layout, the buttons, the visuals, the experience of an application or a digital tool. Take Zoom, for example. Right now we are on this call, and for some of us, from the very first time we actually use the application, we could actually already use it without anyone needing to show it to us, without anyone needing to tell you, oh, this is where you mute, this is where you unmute. You could already navigate the application. If you had such an experience, just give me a thumbs up. Or if you've used an application like that, where you did not need someone to show you around, you could already navigate, you could already find your way around it. Can you just type a one in the chat? Fantastic, Francis. So that's the job of the product designer. It's not to build the application itself, but rather to design how the application looks, how the application feels, and how you navigate the application itself. All right. So the job of the product designer is to create how a product looks, feels, and works. It's about being the person who designs the layouts, the buttons, the visuals. Today we can add a background, a virtual background to our camera, the same way you see on my pinned frame right now. You can see I have a virtual background. All right. This was designed, right? Someone built it, someone designed it first before it was developed by another professional. So the job of the product designer is to put together interfaces, experiences, and how tools are usually designed. All right. If you look at the plastic bottle or whatever tool that you basically pick up a pen, for example, there's a reason it's designed the way it is. Pick up a whatever item, just pick up any item around you. You'd see that it was designed with intention to make sure that it serves the purpose and it serves that purpose with ease. Now, there are successful applications that have been able to do this, right? Product design comes in two phases. First of all, designing the interface itself, right? Designing the visual, what you see, what you interact with. And the purpose of that is to call your attention. Have you seen a design before, maybe doom scrolling through Instagram or Facebook, and you had to go back and actually look at it because it caught your attention? If you've had such an experience, give me a thumbs up. If you've had such an experience, give me a thumbs up or type a one in the chat. Fantastic. You've probably been scrolling through Instagram, doom scrolling through, social media, and you saw something that caught your attention and you had to go back and look at that thing again. It could have been a flyer, it could have been a design, it could have been, a marketing ad for a particular product, and so much more. Now, how about interfaces where it did not have the best design, but you spent a lot of hours on that interface? Have you had such an experience? Have you been on an application and you find yourself spending hours? It's not that there were so many designs that was catching your attention or anything, but it was designed in such a way that you would end up spending so many hours. That's because whoever designed that application built it with intention for user experience. There's an experience that they want you to have on that application, and that was designed with precision. I'm going to give you a very practical example. Last night, I spent hours on Temu. All right. I spent hours on the Temu application and I ended up buying something that I initially did not plan to buy. Right? That's one thing about product design, right? The intention is to first of all catch your attention, and then secondly, to make sure that there's a flow that they are able to maintain or retain that attention. All right, to ensure that there's an experience that you actually go through that you enjoy while using that application. That's an experience. There's an easy transition from one place to the next one to the next one. And before you know, you've already explored the entire application, right? And that's what product design is about. Putting together how something looks, how it feels, and how it works, designing the experience of a user on a particular products. All right. Now, product design or a product designer is someone who studies user behavior and what they need. For the Zoom application, a lot of extensive research went into that. A lot of study went into that to look into what would the user want to do? What would the user like to do? What would our ideal user be using this platform for? They would like to host meetings, right? They would like to have interactions. They would like to be able to speak and see each other. They would like to have a background that's different from their, actual background. They would like to have a virtual background. They would like to be able to record the session so that they can always go back to it. All of this is designed by the product designer. It puts together what the user would need, what will make the experience of the user seamless and optimal. If the user needs to unmute themselves, there has to be a button that makes it easy to do that. Muting and unmuting is something that would happen multiple times in a meeting. It has to be easily accessible, not a hidden button. Playing games, for example, could be something that our interface can be useful. So we can input a couple of games to it. However, it's not something that's used all the time. The interface was primarily designed for meetings and not for games. As much as we are adding this, we do not want to make it too obvious. All right. And that's what product design is about, ensuring that there's a seamless flow. All right. Understanding what the user behavior is. If Jedediah comes onto this application, there's a specific kind of experience that he expects to have. If Jedediah goes on Instagram, there's an experience that he's going to end up having. If you go on TikTok, there's an experience that you'd have. If you go on your banking application, there's a flow, right? That's how it works. And there's all of this was designed based on study. So a product designer typically goes through studying and understanding user behavior. And then they go through designing the interface as well as the experience. Designing the interface as well as the experience. There's an experience you have when you go on Instagram. All right. If you've noticed, there's been recent changes to the Instagram application. Right. They've moved the message button. I think it used to be above, and now they've moved it down. Right. There's been a lot of changes to the interface. If you've been using Google Meet, you'd notice that there's been a lot of changes. There's more colors now. There's more features on Google Meet. All right. If you've been using, your bank app for a while now, you'd also notice that there's been a lot of upgrades to it. There were features that were not there before, and now they are made available on the bank application. All right. A lot of changes are happening, and this is as a result of upgrades and updates to the user interface and the user experience. The journey you go through on Instagram was designed with precision and intention. The experience that you have from opening Instagram to being able to scroll through, being able to, like, comment, and every other interaction that you have on the platform was designed so that you have that specific experience. The same way you can go onto a shopping platform like Temu, for example, and you can easily move from selecting the items you want to applying discounts and even going on to pay for the product. All right. That entire interface, that entire experience that you have that is seamless was optimally designed to make sure that you have such a seamless experience. And that's the job of a product designer. Again, emphasis on the fact that they are not responsible for building these systems. They are not responsible for developing the Instagram application. What they do is design it, and then software developers or engineers are responsible for actually implementing it. So think of the, product designer as the architect, all right, that designs the plan of what a building should look like. And then the masons and carpenters and all the other professionals now go on to bring that design to life. Type a one in the chat if all of this is making sense to you. Just go on to type a one in the chat if all of this is making sense to you. Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, what else can the product designer do? They create wireframes, prototypes, and app layouts. When a software engineering company or a startup comes out, or even an existing organization, because trust me, even existing organizations still update, improve, and make their systems, platforms, improve on their user experience. I just gave an example with Instagram, right? That's constantly updating their platform, seeking for ways to make it better, to make your experience a lot more seamless. All right. So they create wireframes, they create prototypes. Oh, if this looks like this is the kind of experience that our users would have. If we change the flow to look like this as an alternative, this is the experience that they would have. This is how the flow would go from when they sign up to when they actually start using the product and how they interact with the product itself. They work with engineers, right? Product designers will work with engineers to turn the designs into real products. So, like I mentioned earlier, like I explained, the job of the product designer is to design the interface, but not to build it, right? It's the job of the engineer to build this product. All right. Now, the product designer also tests their designs with users and improves on them. Remember, their objective is not just to produce a design. Their objective is not just to design a layout. Their objective is also to design users' experience, right? Besides just designing what an application looks like, they also design your journey on that application, how you interact with the application, where do you go when you open the application, how do you use the application, what exactly do they expect you to do on the platform, and how can they help you to navigate that? How can they engineer you to actually go through the journey, to enjoy that experience that the product was designed for? All right. So there's so much that goes into product design. And this is the major bulk of work that a product designer is involved in working on. Now, what kind of person would be a good fit for product design? What kind of person should consider getting into the product design space? Now, if you're someone who cares about people's experiences, if you care deeply about users and how they think, if you care about users' interaction, then product design is a great field for you to get into, right? If you're someone that's concerned about experiences of people, concerned about how people think, how people feel when they use particular products, how people's opinions about what you're building, all right, then product design is a perfect field for someone like you. If you're also someone who is a creative and you enjoy visual work, you enjoy design, you enjoy putting together pieces of design, pieces of architecture, you like to design things, you like to design layouts, put together how things should look, how things should feel, how things should work, then product design is a perfect career track for you. Now, if you're also someone who is concerned about solving human-centered problems. Now, when I say human-centered problems, I'm referring to problems that relate to human experiences, problems that are in the need of what exactly is the pain point of a user and how exactly does our product address that pain point. If I need a banking application in order to be able to send money to someone, and you design a banking application that only allows me to withdraw money, then it defeats the purpose for which I'm coming on there, right? If I need the banking application to be able to send money and you design the banking application for me to invest in stocks, for example, right, then defeats the purpose for why I need the application. So if you're someone that's focused on solving human-centered problems, you like solving problems, you like interacting with people, identifying what their problems is and actually solving it, then product design is a perfect fit for you. All right. If you're also someone who communicates well with developers, now you're interested in technical work, you're interested in building really amazing things, you're interested in the tech space, you're interested in building pieces, especially within the tech space, advancements in technology, recent developments, you want to work with startups, you want to work with, brands in the tech space, but you do not want to do the technical bit of coding. Right? You don't want to get into that part of the work. Then you can as well be a product designer. All right. Because in this space, you'd actually be working on interface and you'll be using no code to low code tools that allow you to be able to build these products, work in the tech space, and actually collaborate with other tech experts as well. If you also enjoy testing ideas and improving on them over time, you want to build something and you want to see it grow, you want to continuously improve upon it, then the product design space becomes a perfect fit for you. Now, a lot of you might be wondering also, there's a lot of trend that's happening today. We are seeing a lot of changes in the market. When I think about product design, I'm thinking about interfaces, experiences, right? But how exactly does this compete against AI in the market today? Because today you can pretty much prompt AI and it's going to design an application for you. Yes, AI can design the application for you, but can it design the user experience? Remember, the job of the product designer is not just designing the interface, but also designing the experience. All right, there's an experience, there's a feeling that you expect your user to have when they go on your platform. All right, so AI does not think for you, AI does not solve problems, AI does not interact with other people to optimize your products for you. So, how exactly can AI still fit in the product design market? Right? Is AI actually replacing the job of the product designer? No, it is not. You'd find tools like Framer AI that's used in the design space and can help you to generate polished websites from a single prompt. Remember, I explained that, product design is on focused on designing interfaces and experiences. A website, for example, is a product and you have an experience. It has an interface and you have an experience when you interact with that interface. If you go on Tenalytics websites today, there's a seamless journey that you go through from, first of all, landing on the website itself to, filling out the form, selecting what programs you want to go for, going through the curriculum, down to even enrolling for the program. There's an entire experience that you have, and the interface is built for you to have a seamless journey. Right here at Analytics, we have a learning management system where you go to interact with all of your learning content. That was also designed with precision. All right, we've taken lots of feedback, we've improved off of it. It was designed in such a way that you can seamlessly go on there and actually interact with the learning content, the one you want to, and actually seamlessly enjoy the full experience. Now, AI can as well do that, right? AI can design, can put together all of these things, but you still need to write the correct kind of prompt. You still need to consider the user experience and not just the interfaces. So while you're doing that, while AI can help you to do some of these things, there are things that still require human involvement. And that's where the product designer comes in. Your job is to solve problems. Your job is to solve problems. We want to build this product. We need it to be a certain type of way. And your job is to make sure that that product is built in that way. Another typical example is Figma AI. Right? This is a very powerful tool that lots of designers use, Figma, right? And then Figma has their own internal AI that helps you to remove all of the grunt work, speed up your UI and prototyping process. We have other products like Adobe Firefly that helps you with generating images that can go onto your design. If you look at the image on my slide right now, it was designed using AI. Right. And it's helping me to beautify. But at the same time, I need to take you through the session to deliver the content and ensure that you have a seamless experience. So while AI is there to optimize your flow, it does not replace the job of the product designer, who is there to design not just the interface, but the experience as well. All right, we have Canva Magic Studio and so much more. So AI won't replace designers. It will only replace slow execution. The work, a design that might take 10 hours for you to complete, you can easily prompt AI, fine-tune your prompts, and get it to do that work for you as seamlessly as possible. So as much as there's a lot of AI tools out there in the market and a lot more coming into the market, they're not replacing the job of the, product designer. Instead, they are augmenting your efforts. They're helping you to move faster, to get more work done, to even get things done much better than they usually are. All right. So how exactly can Tenalytics help you to make this transition? Now, you've come to understand what product design is about. You've come to understand, what a product designer does, right? And you also have a perfect understanding that AI is not replacing the job of the product designer. As much as AI can help with a lot of your work, it's not coming into the market to replace the product designer. You might also be wondering, should I still get into this? Right? Is this a career path that will stand the test of time with the recent developments in AI? Yes, it is. What we've done here at Analytics is we've done extensive research on, the job market of today, what is happening right now in the industry, and what we are likely going to expect to see in the nearest future. Right? We've looked at job boards across, LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, Google, Built-in, Workopolis, and so much more. What we've done is we've scraped multiple jobs. We've scraped for jobs that are consistently in demand, and we've come to realize that there are a number of jobs that continuously come up. There are a number of jobs that recruiters are always looking out for people for. All right. Now, while we're looking at what these jobs were, we're also looking at the skills that were required for these jobs. All right. So we looked at multiple job offerings, but our research did not just end there. We also validated our research with the Future of Jobs report, which is released by the World Economic Forum. Now, this is a report that's released every single year. And it's basically a projection of what the market is going to look like. And what I mean by the market, I'm referring to the job market, what the job market is going to look like over the next 5 years, over the next 5, 10 years. All right, a projection of what the future of jobs is going to look like. And we've consistently seen the same pattern repeat itself. Now, beyond that, we've also took a third stage to this research, and we looked at regional, job boards. We did some regional analysis. We looked at the UK, for example, and we looked at jobs where there's room for eligible occupation for skilled worker visa. All right, you are able to secure jobs for skilled that can help you to secure a skilled worker visa. In the US, we looked for job titles with the highest H-1B acceptance rate. All right. And in Canada, we looked at, institutions like AAIP, like OINP, like the provincial nominee programs and the likes of them. We are looking out for jobs that consistently show up on these platforms. So you see that we've really gone extensively to conduct research around these platforms to ensure that whatever we are presenting to you is a path that allows you to easily transition into. And even after you have successfully transitioned, you can actually secure a job and be guaranteed of job security over the next 5 to 10 years. All right. And what we've come to see is that pretty much all of these tech tracks that we offer here at Analytics, all right, after doing all of this research, we came up with all of these tech tracks. And for today, our discussion is focused on the product design track. All right. And we see that it is one of the top jobs in demand. Now, this is just a snippet of the World Economic Forum's report, the Future of Jobs report by the World Economic Forum, which I explained to us that comes out every single year. And as you can see, product design is amongst the top jobs that are in demand and are projected to grow in demand over the next decade.
All right. So you see a lot of other jobs, right? But you also see that product design is amongst the top jobs that are going to grow in demand over the next couple of years. So what exactly do you need to do? Now that you know what product design is, you know what you need, right? What the skills are that are required. You also have an understanding of, what the market is looking like, what the prospects are looking like, and what the future holds for a product designer. Now, you might be asking, how exactly? What do I need to do to get this job? How do I break into this space and secure my very first role as a product designer, right? Here at Analytics, we've come up with a simple formula that has proven to work time and time again. And this simple formula is to learn and then package yourself by positioning yourself for the job market and then going on to apply. And that would guarantee you securing a job. Again, the formula is simple. All right. You learn, then you package yourself by positioning yourself for the market, and then you can actually secure a job. Now, by learning, what you want to do is get the skills that are required in the market. What are recruiters looking out for? What kind of skills do they need in a product designer? What tools do they need me to be able to use? What soft skills do they need me to have? What employability skills do I need in order to succeed as a product designer? And then we go into positioning yourself for the market. All right. How does my CV needs to look? Right, in order to attract the right kind of audience. What do I need to put on my CV? How do I position myself so that they can actually get to interact with me? What proof do I have? Right? What can give them confidence in hiring me besides just word of mouth? All right. What mentorship can I get? Am I prepared for the job market? And how can I prepare myself for the job market? So, besides having these skills, you need to package those skills in order to position yourself for the job market and for the openings and opportunities that are out there. Now, once you have learned the skill, you've packaged yourself and you're well positioned for the market, then you can start applying to jobs, applying to these opportunities, and you're guaranteed to be able to secure your very first role in the tech space. Now, like I explained to you, this is a formula that has worked for us. We've had multiple participants that have gone through this for multiple different tracks, and it consistently works. And especially for the product design space, this is a very effective formula that is going to work for anyone that's looking to get into the product design space. So, how exactly do you start on this journey? All right. How exactly do you start on this journey? There are two things that every employer wants to get in an employee. There are two major things that every employer, anyone looking for a product designer, there are two major things that they need you to have. The first is the skill. They need you to be able to use the tools. They need you to be able to use Figma. They need you to be able to use, Canva, Adobe, whatever application, or they need you to be able to create these designs, basically. Right? And then secondly, they need you to have experience doing this thing, right? Because there are lots of things that come with experience, right? Not just having the skills, but you need to prove that you know it, you have done it before, right? Before they can go on to hire you. At Analytics, we have a mantra, and our mantra is simple: competence over credentials. So while we are training you to get these skills, and we are going to be giving you a certificate at the end of your training, our focus is on ensuring that you have the competence, that you actually know these tools, you know how to use them, and you can actually get the work done. Now, while we are going through all of this, we'll also be helping you to work on real life projects. The best way to learn, the best way to learn if you want to land a job, especially in the tech space, is by building projects. You learn by doing. And this is a mantra in the tech space. You learn by working in a project-based environment. And very importantly, you have to showcase your work. You have to showcase your work. My Nigerians will say show workings. Yeah? No be cho. You have to show evidence of your work. You have to prove that you are not just capable of doing this thing, but you have done it before and you can continuously repeat. All right. You can augment. You've done this before and you can do it again for this brand. So we designed your experience here at Analytics to help you to have that, to simulate that. So you learn, but also you learn by doing. So we are not just teaching you and telling you, oh, Figma can do this and that, but we actually show you. We actually work on projects together. We build, interfaces. We design experiences together in the program. Now, how exactly do we help you to do this? We take you through our entire program, right? Starting with going through the product design program itself, where you'll be learning fundamentals of user experience. Remember, your job is not just to build interfaces, but to solve problems in the experience of users on a particular platform or using a particular product. So we go through user experience foundations and research. How do you research on user experiences? How do you build? How do you design a layout that ensures a user has a seamless experience? What kind of users do we expect? All right, designing wireframes using tools like Figma, Framer, Cloud, Notion, and the likes of them. Now, I mentioned Framer AI and Figma AI earlier. These are going to be tools that you will actually be using and would be showing you how you can leverage the AI built in these systems in designing interfaces, wireframes, and user experiences. Now, all of this is put together to ensure that you have a seamless journey during your learning. And at the same time, we are making sure that everything you go through is going to be project based. So your experience is not just going to be coming to class, listen, but you actually work on projects. You actually use these tools. You actually design interfaces with an expert guide taking you through all of these sessions. All right. Now, while you are going through all of that, it's not enough to have just the technical skills, right? It's not enough just to have the technical skills. You also need employability skills in order for you to be able to land a job. You might be working right now as, a nurse or you might be a teacher or maybe a desktop publisher, a security guard, whatever space you're currently working in, and you are looking to get into this technical space. All right. There's a lot that goes into it. Besides having the technical skills, you also need the employability skills that help you to secure a job in this space. Some of these would include CV review. Whatever CV you currently have is most likely going to present you as an expert in the space which you currently work in. But you want a CV that accurately presents you as an expert in product design as well. So you want to review the current CV you have and revamp it, and Analytics will be helping you to do that. You'd also need to optimize your LinkedIn profile. We listened to a couple of testimonials earlier, and some people shared that they were able to, ensure that they had a huge following on LinkedIn, ensure that they were putting out content consistently. And this is most importantly crucial to you as a product designer, because a lot of the work you're going to be doing is something visual. And you need a lot of visibility. You need a lot of people to see your work and actually acknowledge and actually know that, yes, this person has built this and is capable of building what we need them to build for us. So you leverage platforms like LinkedIn, which is a professional networking platform, to put out a lot of the work that you're putting together. All right. You'll also understand how to navigate the job market, and we'll be training you on how to do this, what recruiters are looking for, what their expectations are, and how you can navigate all of that in the tech market. We'll also prepare you for interviews when you eventually have them. So when you have an interview, you can go on to book an interview preparation session with our team of experts who would be guiding you through the entire process. All right. What kind of questions to expect during the interview and how to answer them correctly. Now, even after you have landed a job and your organization is asking for a reference, or have you done product design before? Where have you done product design before? Have you get a reference from this organization that can vouch for you? Analytics can actually provide the reference letter when you request for one. We also provide on-the-job support. After you've gotten the job and within your 30 to 60 days, getting onboarded, any questions that you might have, any difficulties, any challenges that you might have, we are here to support you, hold your hands through getting the work done. All right. So while we are supporting you, you get the work done and we are guiding you through how exactly to get it done. We have weekly mentorship sessions and even Upwork optimization session. So if you decide, oh, I don't want to work for an organization, I want to work freelance. I simply want to work, get paid, and I move on. Right? Would be training you on how you can optimize Upwork to actually help you to secure the job. Right? So like I mentioned again earlier, for you to secure a job, there are two things that recruiters are looking for, right? Do you remember what those two things are? I would like for you to type it in the chat. What are the two things that recruiters are looking for? What are the two things that recruiters want to see? Can we remember what they are? Are we here? Two things that recruiters want to see: skills and experience. And we just talked about skills, right? You build the technical skills in the class, going through all of the things that we're going to be learning from Figma to Framer to the fundamentals of UI to UX to every other tool that we're going to cover on the program. And then while you are getting the skills, you'd also need the experience. You have to show some level of experience in order for you to secure a job. Now, what we have done is to make sure that every single class you go through is project based so that as you go through the live classes, you're consistently working on projects that portray you, that showcase these skills that you actually learn. So you learn about Figma, you work with Figma, you build products using Figma, and those products or projects get added into your portfolio, which you can showcase to potential recruiters when you are being recruited for a role. Now, besides this, you also get to enjoy a 2 month period of internship with our partner organization, Amedari. Now, Amedari is a company registered in the UK. So by the time you complete your training with analytics, right, you get transferred to Amedari for a period of 2 months where you have an internship experience. And at the end, you'd have the unique opportunity of not just having analytics on your CV, but also Amdari, all right, reflecting on your CV. And at the end of your training, you'd be able to show evidence of your work in a portfolio. You'd have worked on projects at Analytics as well as projects at Amidari that can both reflect on your CV. So the experience you're going to have would span across 4 months of learning, 4 months of training at Analytics, as well as building projects during this 4 months period. And then 2 months of internship with Amidari, where you're also working on more projects. Now, as you go through the program, you'd have classes happening on alternating weekends, live classes happening on weekends, and then you also have self-paced watch me do it videos. These are basically self-paced videos, resources that you can watch at your own pace. You get to catch up on these resources, ask questions during our drop-in sessions, gain clarity, and make sure that you have access and you are continuously on track for this career journey that you are starting. All right. We also have the mentorship sessions, which I spoke about earlier, where you'll be learning about some of the soft skills and employability skills that you actually need to get into this space. And these mentorship sessions will be happening on Thursdays as well. Like I explained before, the purpose of these sessions is simply to make sure that you're equipped with the right knowledge to actually secure a job in this space. So you get the technical skills from the live classes, and then you get the employability skills from the mentorship session and other employability sessions that we have. Every single one of the sessions that we hold are going to be recorded, and you would have access to all of these resources at the end of your training. You'd have lifetime access to them even after you have completed your training with us here at Tenalytics. So while you are going through the training, you are getting the soft skills, you're getting the employability skills, you're getting the technical skills, you're also getting the experience as you go through this entire journey. And this is a very important part of your experience. It's a very important part of your transition journey as a product designer or a UI UX designer. All right. Now, I mentioned earlier that I have a special announcement. There's a special package for you from us from Analytics. But I would like to hear from everyone. If you've been following with me so far, just type a one in the chat. If you're still here and you've been paying attention, just type a one in the chat. Just go on to type a one in the chat if you're still here, if we've not lost you. All right. Fantastic. I'm sure some of us are already developing interest in the product design space. Some of us are already thinking how we can get started on this journey. And like I explained to us earlier, Analytics has a special bundle for you. Analytics has a special bundle for you. We have a cohort that's starting on the 7th of February. All right. And we have a 20% discount that's currently running for that cohort. Now, for that cohort, we have a limit of 20 slots per program. So for every one of our programs here at Analytics, we have 20 slots available for any one of the programs that you'd like to take. All right. And specifically for the product design, we have a 20% discount running for the cohort that's starting on the 7th of February. And while the full price for the program is $1,000, we have a discount that's currently running. All right. We have a 20% discount and you get to enjoy all of the benefits of the program at half the price. Is this sounding exciting to you? Is this sounding exciting to you already? Type your one in the chat if you're excited to get started. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. I'm sure a lot of us are excited to get started on this journey. All right, so very quickly, I'm going to be taking us through how you can get started. All right, so I'm going to go on to pull up my screen and I'm going to be sharing with us how you can actually secure your slots. As of right now, my colleagues are already sharing the link in the chat, right, of how you can actually secure your very first slot in the program, right? How you can go on to secure a slot at the discounted amount. So like I said before, the full price of the program is $1,000 for the product design program. However, as of right now, we have a 20% discount running. And like I said, there are a limited number of slots available for this discount. So while the program costs $1,000, you can enjoy the full program at a discounted amount of $800 instead of paying the full $1,000. All right. So instead of paying the full $1,000, you have the unique opportunity to pay $800. And there's more to this. You also have the unique opportunity to spread this payment out up to 3 months. Like I explained to us, your training spans for 4 months, right? So before the end of your training, you're able to complete your payment. So if you don't have the full $800 to get started today, all you need is just $266 to secure your slot right now. And as soon as the cohort starts, you get to enjoy all of the benefits of the program from the technical classes to the employability sessions to even the internship. All right. All of this is bundled into the package. And all you need to get started is only $266, securing your slot for the February cohort. And then you can pay subsequent installments when the program actually starts. All right. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. You're able to enjoy the full benefits from technical skills to employability skills to learning how to package yourself for the market, from LinkedIn optimization, getting your CV reviewed and revamped for you. And you also have access to employability services like CV review, all right, like interview preparation and the likes of that. Doesn't get better than this. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. All right, so all of this is packaged and bundled up for you, and you get to enjoy all these full benefits when you sign up for the program today. At the end of your training, you'll be getting a certificate from Tenalytics. Now, Tenalytics is registered in the US as well as in Canada, and we are also accredited by the American Council of Training. So at the end of your training, you'd actually be getting a certification from Tenalytics that's accredited by a governing body in the US. So we are very much intentional about your experience, and your journey can get started with us today. The future belongs to those who design it, and this is your moment to begin. If you'd like to get started, you can click on the link that my colleagues are sharing in the chat. I'm also going to click on it, and I'll take you through how you can go on to secure your slots today on the Tenalytics product design program. All right. So give me a quick moment. I'm going to share a different screen so I can take us through this process as well. Now I want to believe that you can see my screen. All right. So the link that my colleagues are already sharing in the chat, all you need to do is click on that link, and that will bring you onto this page. Now, just like I explained to you earlier, right? Product design. This is basically what a product designer does. Designs the interface, designs the experience, right? You see the way these boxes are popping up, the way everything is arranged. That was the job of the product designer, designing how everything should be put, or, drawing, putting all of these pieces together, how they should be arranged, how they should be navigated, and all of that. And then a developer was able to bring this to life, right? Bring this into actuality. But there was someone who first designed the layouts and the entire experience. So what you want to do right now is actually click on the link and experience this beautiful piece of work that a product designer has put together. Right. So click on the link, go onto the website, and what you want to do is scroll down and locate the product design program. Like I explained to you, it costs $1,000, but there's a 20% discount today. So you get to pay 800 and enjoy all the benefits of the program. So what you want to do right now is simply go onto the site and click on buy now. Now, once you click on buy now, it takes you onto the next page. And in this page, what you want to do is scroll down and click on the button that says enroll now. Now, just like I explained earlier, there are a limited number of slots for the program. While we are selling at a 20% discount, there are a limited number of slots. So if you'd like to take advantage of the discounts, you want to secure your slots as quickly as possible. So what you want to do is click on enroll now. And that brings you to the next page where you get to provide your details, right? You need to provide your name, your email address, contact details, so we can be able to reach out to you later on. That also creates a profile for you on our platform that you can easily access the learning management system. So once you have secured all of that, it brings you onto this page where you can go on to make payment and secure your slot. Now, just like I explained to you before, you have instrumental plans of up to 4 months. So you can actually pay installments as low as $266 or $200 for 4 months. So all you need to do is select the payment plan you would like to go for, right? You can choose the full price upfront, pay in 2 installments or 3 installments, or even up to 4 installments. So if I decide to pay $400 now, I simply need to select the payment plan I want to take, and then I can go on to make payment. All right. If I want to pay in a different currency in pounds, for example, all I need to do is come to this currency button, click on the drop down, select pounds, and go on to do that. All right. So you see that the work of the product designer is very, very important. All right. This ensures that my experience on this platform is seamless. I don't need to start navigating and looking for a way to convert my pounds to US dollars before I go on to make payments, or start doing the math of, if I'm paying in pounds, how much am I meant to pay? Right. So I can simply come here, change the currency to pounds. I can change it to Naira or whatever currency I'm going to be paying in, Canadian dollars, whatever currency you're paying in. Going to select the installment plan you want, and then you can go on to apply the discount and make payments to secure your slot for the program. All right. So all you have to do is go on to select all of these things, and then you are good to go. Now, once you've provided all of these details, the next step for you to take is actually to go on to pay for the program. But even before you do that, there's one more very interesting thing that you have the flexibility to do. You have the flexibility to adjust the next billing date. all right? Because the payments are done automatically. So if you pay the first half today, the expectation is that the next half will come in the next month, but you actually have an opportunity to adjust the payment date. So you can come over here, click on edit date, and you can as well go in and adjust the dates that you can get billed, right? So your next billing can come all the way into the month of March. So if you get paid on the first, you actually have that week to go on to make your next payment. All right, as the cohort is starting on the 7th of February, you can make your next payment to be on the 7th of March, which is 1 month after the cohort actually starts. So if you don't need to adjust the dates, that's fine as well. You can leave it the way it is, or you adjust the dates, click on save, and you're good to go. What you want to do is scroll down, you know, confirm, go through the terms and conditions, accept them, and then you can go on to pay and secure your slot. All right. This is a seamless process that has been designed to ensure that you have a smooth experience going on to secure your slot. And just as you see this experience being smooth, that's exactly how you would enjoy a smooth experience on the Analytics learning management system once you get onboarded to the program. I'm sure we had a wonderful time this evening. So I'm going to be, giving the mic, handing the mic over back to us so we can ask any questions that we might have. We can address any questions before we drop off in the next couple of minutes. I'm sure we had a wonderful time, and I'm sure some of us are already securing our slots for the next cohort. So if you're interested in any one of these tracks, please go on to secure your slot and take advantage of the 20% discount. So if you have any question, please, you can go on to drop that in the chat or use the raise hand gesture, and I'd be more than glad to answer that for you. I'm sure we had a wonderful time in today's session, and I'm sure we learned a thing or two in the session today. It's been wonderful interacting with every one of us. And I'm sure we're excited to get started on the journey. Are we excited to get started? Are we excited to get started? If you're securing your slots today, just go on to type your one in the chat. Are you securing your slot today? Oh, fantastic, fantastic. All right, it's been a lovely session. I don't think we have any questions. It seems like we understood everything that was explained, and I'm sure some of us are already securing our slots for the next cohort. All right, it's been lovely speaking with everyone. You can go on to click on the link my colleagues are already sharing up in the chat. Click on it and go on to secure a slot, and I'll be looking forward to seeing every one of you in class. All right, okay, we have one question. Hello, Alfred. Hi, Alfred. Hi, Alfred. I can't hear you. I don't see your question. I'm guessing you're typing it.
Hello, can you hear me now? Hello.
I guess Alfred is still typing his question. But while he's doing
Yes,
that,
I
if
was able
this
to hear Alfred for a while, please.
okay. Alfred, you can speak.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, now I can.
Okay. Uh, Good evening to all of you, and thank you very much for this wonderful presentation. I'm so delighted today to be part of this section. Like you said, some of us got interest in your program because my sister was once your student, and all that she went through made me became interested in it. And actually, I've made my first payment for the data scientist program. Now, after making that payment, what am I supposed to do? Will your system record what we have done, and then when the time is up, we'll start with the classes, or I need to go on to further fill forms that will show that I've made payment, because I remember a site was shared with me to complete that particular site by putting in all the details of the payment and the rest. I tried doing it, but unfortunately, when I got to where I'm supposed to attach the screenshot of the payment, I was getting a server field, and I could not do it up till now. So I want to know, will you be able to know those of us who have made our payment, and then on the February 7th, we start the classes, or what are we supposed to do after making the first payment? Thank you very much.
Yes, absolutely. So, I believe you should have gotten an invoice in your mail, but I'll just check in the back end and reach out to you. So what I'm going to do right now is just send you a message here on the call. That's Alfred. So I'd like for you to just respond to the message I just sent to you on the call. Like for you to respond to that with your email and WhatsApp number, and would be reaching out to you. Okay, we'll just confirm on our end and reach out to you. All right, thanks, Alfred. Any other questions? All right, thanks, Alfred. I've gotten it. So are there any other questions? If you have a question you'd like for us to answer, um, you could either use the raise hand gesture or just type in the chat. All right, so I'm guessing there are no other questions and we're already going on to secure our slots, just like Alfred has. All right, so while we secure our slots, I'll be looking forward to seeing us in class in February. Take care, everyone, and bye for now. Bright, to get the recording, all you need to do is ensure that you fill out the form. All right, the attendance form that my colleagues are showing. Just make sure you fill it out and we'll be reaching out to you. All right. Okay, then. It's been a lovely session. It's been awesome, speaking with everyone on the call, and I'll be looking forward to catching up with us again soon. Bye for now, everyone. Take care.